When my daughter got married, she believed she was starting her life with nothing but love, hope, and a small apartment. What she didn't know was that her late father had left behind 3 beachfront houses worth $30 million all in my care. He had asked me not to tell her until the right time. His words were clear before he passed. Let her fall in love for love, not for inheritance. So, I stayed silent. I watched her walk down the aisle in her simple gown, her eyes glowing with happiness. Her husband, Daniel, came from a modest family, and together they built a life from scratch. They had no idea of the fortune waiting for them. At first, I struggled with the secret. There were days I wanted to tell her, especially when money was tight for them. They lived in a small apartment, worked long hours, and often worried about bills. Once, she even called me crying because they feared losing their home after Daniel lost his job. I wanted to hand her the keys to one of the houses right then, but I stopped myself. Instead, I helped in small ways: groceries, babysitting, medical bills, without ever revealing the truth. One summer, I invited them to a beach house, pretending it belonged to a friend. My daughter was amazed at the beauty, the ocean view, the golden sunsets, but I overheard her telling Daniel, "Even if we never have this, I'm happy with our life." That moment confirmed that keeping the secret was right. Years went by. They had a child and then another. Their struggles were real, but so was their love. They fought, they laughed, they grew stronger as a couple. Still, the guilt weighed on me. I sometimes wondered if I was being cruel, letting them suffer while I kept such wealth hidden. But deep inside, I knew my husband's wish was to let her prove to herself that she could build a life without money. The breaking point came when my daughter confessed one night in tears that she felt like a failure. They had been saving for years but couldn't afford a house. "We work so hard, Mom, but it feels like we're stuck. My son deserves better," she said, her voice breaking. That night, I realized she was no longer the young bride who needed protection. She was a woman who had earned her place in the world. So, I told her. I brought her and Daniel to the beach house again. But this time I didn't pretend. Sitting in the living room, with the waves crashing outside, I explained everything. Her father's inheritance, the 3 beach houses, the millions I had been holding back. My daughter sat in silence, stunned, while Daniel could barely speak. At first she was angry, asking me why I had let her struggle. I explained her father's wishes, that he wanted her love and her marriage to be pure, not influenced by wealth. Slowly her anger faded. She looked at Daniel, who squeezed her hand and said softly, "We did it ourselves. That's what matters." Tears filled her eyes, and she finally understood. Now, the secret is no longer mine to bear. My daughter and Daniel have their dream home. But more importantly, they have the knowledge that their marriage wasn't built on money. It was built on love, patience, and years of struggle that made them strong. The $30 million in beach houses is now theirs, but so is the priceless gift of knowing they earned their happiness together. And for me, that is the greatest peace I could give my husband and my daughter.